Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name's Meg. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. That would mean the absolute world to me. For today's video, I wanted to share with you all some tips on how you can grow your hair longer and just make sure that it's nice and healthy. I actually chopped my hair to about maybe like right here a little less than 2 years ago, and now my hair is pretty much down to my waist. Some of you might be thinking, alright Meg, like your hair didn't grow that fast. And I completely understand why you would think that, especially with all of these YouTube videos claiming that you can grow your hair 18 inches in like 2 weeks. Sorry to break it to you, but you can't do that. Your hair grows on average about 1/4 of an inch a month, I think. But I'm just going to share with you some tips on how you can get your hair to grow a little bit quicker. Again, I know my hair didn't grow that quickly, but within the first year when I was really implementing these tips, I feel like my hair grew a bunch, and then the second year I just wasn't really using these tips as much. So my hair continued to grow this past year, but I definitely feel like it grew a lot more when I was using these tips. I know I've been rambling for quite a while now, so let's just go ahead and get on with the tips. First of all, I just want to lay it all on the table and tell you guys that yes, drinking plenty of water and eating right will help your hair grow and will help it be healthier, but I'm sure you all have heard that tip before, so that's all I'm gonna say on that. I think the biggest thing that really helped me grow my hair and even helped my hair grow past the length that it kind of stopped growing at, or terminal length if that's a real thing, was to stop using shampoo with sodium lauryl sulfate in my hair. That is a mouthful. I don't think it's usually in conditioners, mainly just in shampoos. I'm not sure exactly why you're supposed to cut this from your hair care routine, but I just know that whenever I did, personally, I think my hair grew the longest, healthiest, best that it ever did. And my favorite natural shampoo is by the brand Good. I'll have a picture of it up here if I can find one. Just to forewarn you all, at least whenever I use that shampoo on my hair, I would notice that my hair would still be a little bit, not necessarily greasy, but like it would get oily faster, if that makes any sense. So it's not really a great clarifying shampoo, but it works wonders when you're trying to grow your hair out longer, and you can always throw some dry shampoo in your hair. But honestly, like, it's not that bad. It's just that second day hair, you'll probably need to throw in a little bit of dry shampoo, which brings me into my next tip, which is to not wash your hair every day. Again, you've probably all heard this tip if you're trying to grow your hair longer, or even just in general, it's a good thing to not wash your hair every day because you're drying out your scalp when you're doing that, and that's no fun. I wash my hair every other day, sometimes every third day if my hair is really cooperating, or if I'm not doing anything and just wear it in a messy bun all day. But yeah, you don't have to go super long between washing your hair. I know some people will go like a month between washing the hair, and I cannot do that because I do have an oily scalp. So I feel you, girl, if you have an oily scalp too. I know the last thing you want to do is go walking around with oily hair, but again, dry shampoo will be your best friend. And then when you are washing your hair, make sure to concentrate the shampoo mainly on your scalp and really only on your scalp, and then let the shampoo like wash through your hair, and then it will reach the ends and wash out. So your hair will all be washed, but you don't need to put shampoo like all over your hair. And then vice versa, when you're using conditioner, do not put conditioner on your scalp because it's really gonna weigh your hair down and just make your hair greasier, and you don't need any of that. So I like to put my conditioner maybe like up to here and then rinse it out, and then you're good to go. And then I think this is my last tip, but it's another really big tip that if you really want to grow your hair long, you're gonna have to try and commit to this. And it's to avoid using heat on your hair and other harsh chemicals like dyeing and coloring your hair. So just gonna throw this out there, when I said that I wasn't really following all of these tips this past year, the big one that I wasn't really following is to try and avoid coloring your hair. I did get my hair colored last year. I got a balayage, which is kind of like, I feel like it's in between like highlights and an ombre. So like an ombre is usually just like the ends of your hair, and then highlights, like they're pretty close to highlights, but they're kind of like ombre highlights. I'm not a hairdresser or anything, so I really don't know what I'm talking about, but they're just like really subtle like highlights in your hair, I guess. So I've only done that once. Last year was the first time that I've done any coloring to my hair, and I did a balayage knowing that this summer, whenever my hair was longer, I'd want it to look more like an ombre. So I just used that one treatment to basically get the hair that I wanted for that year and then this year too. Basically what I'm trying to say is go live your life, go get your hair colored if you want to get it colored. It's not the end of the world, but do be careful about it, and if you are someone who gets their hair treated regularly, then just make sure that you're following all the tips that your hairdresser gives you to make sure that your hair stays healthy and you don't get a lot of split ends, because who likes split ends? I know I don't. And then when it comes to using heat on your hair, I just let my hair air dry. I know not everyone can probably do that, but just again, be careful about it. If you curl your hair or if you straighten your hair, use a heat protectant. And also just note that there are many heatless hairstyles you can use on your hair, and there are also ways that you can get heatless waves or even curls in your hair if you want that. Using a lot of heat on your hair can lead to a lot of split ends. Nobody wants split ends, and if you start to see signs of split ends, then make sure to get a hair trim. You don't need to go crazy and cut your hair like 5 inches. Just make sure to trim off all the dead ends. Okay, I actually forgot about one last tip, but that is to not brush your hair when it's wet. I will admit that sometimes I do brush my hair when my hair is a little bit wet, but don't brush your hair like straight out of the shower. And if you do need to get the tangles out of your hair when it's soaking wet, then try to use a comb and not a brush, because it just tugs a little bit less on your hair, and using a brush on your hair when it's wet can lead to breakage. Alright guys, so that's a wrap on this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. And I also hope that some of these tips help any of you guys out if you're trying to grow your hair longer. I'm actually thinking of chopping my hair again, so that's why I made this video now while my hair is still long, because who wants to take advice on how to grow your hair longer from someone who has short hair? That doesn't really make any sense. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you all in my next video. Bye guys!